We're here to talk about important things. Very, very, very important.
We're here to talk about very important things, mate.
Look.
Fucking pronouns!
We're here to talk about some really important things that are ruining me emotion.
Can I say something? Because I saw you getting into it. So we'll set the stage here in a second. But I saw you getting into it with some guy from I think Sargon's doing like some podcasting now, and you got into a thing with him. And I saw a clip from them recently arguing that literally like that spices make food worse, which is the most British. I'm not even fucking remotely kidding.
I almost awoken something, bro.
I can't remember.
I almost evolved into someone different.
Who was were they both on the same page, or was somebody like, was there a disagreement?
They were both like, yeah, man, British food is so good. I love eating beans and I love eating beans in my cousin's semen. It's so delicious. I can't fucking, why would you need any fucking seasoning? What is wrong with you Americans? You've always got a season shit. You can't just boil a chicken and cum like us. It's fucking crazy. Like, they are on a different fucking wavelength over there in Britland, and, you know, God bless them.
That's the, dude, look, that's them. I know British people. I know British history. Those motherfuckers went to war for spice. The fact that they have the gall to say the reason why their country decided to become an empire is stupid, is crazy. That's
I'm
just
trying.
People, that's just abnormalities. Like, that's people just saying to say stuff. And then you're watching stuff on Twitter, people are like, Flash is the best movie I've seen in my life. It's like, no, they don't mean that. They're just saying stuff. They're just letting their mouth open and words come out of it.
I'm trying to respect the British. I really am.
So the argument was that British food was better, was like best or better than American food, and the argument was specifically that Americans have destroyed their taste buds because spices destroyed their taste buds, and they can't appreciate the delicacy that is British.
Do you know what this is? It's subtle. It's subtle, but like you have to really know about this gay ass culture war shit to really, because this will go over your head. But this is subtle white supremacy that like it's so subtle. It is so subtle, but it is though. It's one of these things that'll go over your head because it is what they're really trying to do. And I'm sure I haven't seen a second of any of this content. I never even knew about this guy because Jeff Holiday tagged me on Twitter, he showed me, and then I was like, "Who the fuck?" Like, I didn't know anything about this. I wouldn't have even known he was a Sargon guy if he didn't say that. I would have just been like, he's some fucking. I think his name's Harry. I just want to like, some fucking dork.
A British dork named Harry. God,
yeah, exactly.
God help him.
What a guy.
I would, but like, I everything that they're alluding to when they talk about like this, it's like a British supremacy thing. And why do they think they're better? Why do they think they're better? You know, like there's all these subtle hints that I personally don't want to get into. I don't like to get into because it's fucking stupid. And they're all just inbred retards, but
my lineage has been clean.
They are. I'm talking about that guy.
My lineage has been clean for generations.
It is.
I don't know.
It's
Look, man,
garbage.
God bless him. God bless him.
Let's get into
the real thing. Yeah. So man, how do you even set the stage? Well, so obviously a big Bethesda game just came out. A huge Bethesda game, Starfield. Obviously, if you're somehow unfamiliar, they did Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout, all those big WRPGs. And the new game came out, and in the character customization screen, they give you an option,
an nth of a moment.
Yeah, for like a fraction of a second, to pick pronouns, which is like whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I fucking didn't even notice it. Like
it's not even emphasized. It's just kind of there.
Well, I streamed specifically like the first like 5 hours of it or something, or like the first like 3 hours or something. The day it came out, so I did the character customization screen. I did not even fucking notice because it's so benign. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so this I guess along with other things in the game that bothered him up to a point, because he was streaming for 7 hours and then he just lost it. And he was streaming like fucking pronoun. This dude, I don't know his name at all. He's got a really weird. He's got a
YouTube
name.
channel that the crazy thing, I never heard of this guy. I've heard of a lot of people that are adjacent to him, like there's Nerdrotic or something versus gamers or something. I forgot what they're
Geeks and Gamers or something.
Geeks and Gamers. Yeah, you've seen these channels before. I've never seen this guy. His name is Heels versus Babyface, and he's got like over 300K subscribers. And I'm like, oh, it's weird that I've never came across this guy. And it's like he spawned out of nowhere, because how have I not seen anything from this guy if he does shit like this?
Because you're not afraid of the world outside, and you know that's ultimately what it is. But anyway, he lost his shit on either stream or YouTube, kind of basically exploding, and it was a very, very cringe outburst. Like, it was just objectively speaking, it was just an overreaction. Like, there's no reality where you can argue that you are like top echelon, like prime man material, like you are a cultural savior of the modern era, and also scream about shit like this in the way that he was screaming about it. It was just fucking remarkably embarrassing. And so everybody fucking clowned on him, because of course that is what you do to clowns. And it started this whole fucking, it's part of the culture war now. Because I don't know. Because they need something. You need to, and I was talking about this on Twitter too, where it's like, dude, you need, when your job is that, you need to find it everywhere. Because the content machine is fucking crazy. Like, you need to pump out content like, it's why I don't like making content nearly as much as I used to. The podcast is fun because it's just, we get to kind of come together and fucking talk and laugh and shit. But like, producing shit constantly to feed this machine that needs sustenance all the time. It's like, the second you're done uploading your last video, you need to have the next one ready to go. Otherwise, the site's going to fuck you over. And when you're in that mindset, you just got to find shit to make content on. And when you're in the mindset of everything is fucking woke, everything is fucking this, then you're going to start seeing it everywhere. It's that classic thing of like, you could find somebody in an empty room if you really if you looked hard enough.
And I've seen the dichotomy, because there was a lot of people, because my tweets, I don't really tweet that much anymore, just randomly get on and say something stupid and fuck off. But it was to the point where I was even thinking of, should I, cause I hear you can get a check from, Twitter now. And I was like, should I, take advantage of this? My fucking impressions are exploding because of this bullshit. And I was thinking about, but I'm not going to go through all that. This is too much, too many steps. But anyway, I was trying to see what these people were actually saying. And there were some people that think this bald fucking British idiot is just a grifter. I haven't seen any of his content under this, so I can't even say one way or the other.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The only thing I would have to disagree with that is, I don't think this guy is that good of an actor. I just can't imagine this fucking bald fucking loser pro wrestling fan, and he is that his name is a pro wrestling reference. And you look at him, you're like, oh, obviously he's a wrestling fan just by looking at him. And there's no way this guy.
What does that mean?
Well, it means if you're, look at me and my boys are pro wrestling fans, and we peer into the crowd, and we've been to many shows. And when you see their average demographic, you're like, oh, yeah. You just see these fucking greasy guys, like, they smell like garlic just by, you know they smell like garlic. You just look at them and you're like, dude, that guy fucking stinks. That guy fucking stinks. You just know they do. Look, I love pro wrestling. I can say this. I love wrestling.
You're
but I know
shit,
that
bro.
there is... Oh, yeah, for being... I mean, look, I can be subtle about it, sure. But I'm just being honest about it. You look at this guy, and you're like, oh, yeah, there's a pro wrestling fan. Me, like, obviously. And I don't think he's that good of an actor. I don't think the way that he freaked out and was huffing and puffing... to me, there's...
Yeah, no, he believes it. I think he believes it.
Totally believes it.
I think it's one of those things where, like, you kind of...
it's kind of like pathological at this point.
Well, you make yourself insane. You drive yourself crazy. Like, I think at first you're acting a little bit. I think these people are like, we need stuff.
Like that, yeah.
I can agree with that.
I think I watched that. I watched that happen to Tim Pool, like in real time.
Because
I remember having conversations with him where he wasn't nearly as fucking off the rails.
No, what you call it?
And then he locked himself in a fucking compound. What?
Yeah, he's in a compound now.
Gabby Hanna. I watched it happen with. Who else? Like pretty much everyone that's went bonkers. You can see them. You see the content machine making them go crazy. Yeah, and it's really sad. It's actually kind of like not cool. It's like, that's why the older YouTubers, that's why all the old generation of YouTubers, a lot of them just don't really do it anymore. Yeah. Like the older ones are kind of just like, we're gonna go have families and stuff.
Yeah, after a while,
show up every now and then.
They made their money and they realized that this is really strainful. It's straining and it's bearing down on them and they need to just fuck off. I mean, I got to the point where that's where I was. Once I got rid of my last sponsor, because I still had somewhat of an obligation to still feed, even though my channel was already going down and declining. And as soon as they were like, hey, we're going to go in another direction because my numbers were dwindling, I was like, perfect. That's when I felt I have no tie to have to talk about this shit to even try to reach a threshold. Now I'm just doing music content and I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter now because I'm just posting. It's basically a hobby channel and it feels fantastic. Just not having expectations. If something bombs, it's literally just a shrug of your shoulders. You're like, well, okay. And these people, the Baldy and the Harry and all these other people that cropped up in all this discourse that in the replies and stuff, because I can't believe how many replies, and I don't know if there was bigger people quote tweeting my shit that I just didn't see, because I don't go through all that shit. Like, oh, let me see who's all quote tweeting in. Let me see. I'm like, whatever. If I get a notification from like a big person, I'll check it. Like, I'll get like, oh, somebody but other than that, I'm like, whatever. So anyway, I was seeing these people saying they think that things are objectively worse than they were in 2016. And this is the big problem, because I've made a couple of videos saying, no, this wave of the SJWs, the progressive ideologues, it died. How do I know it died? It reached the pinnacle when Law and Order SVU made an episode about this shit. Like, Law and Order SVU is one of the biggest fucking shows on the planet, and they even got infected by this shit. And there was a huge wave of, let's talk about women in gaming and this stuff and the straight white man and blah, 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 and all this stuff that people are like, bro, I just want to play some games. And then guess what? They just started making games again. And all they did in Starfield was include this little fucking insignificant thing that nobody, I literally didn't hear anybody say, not one person say anything about this. That I didn't see it anywhere until this fucking guy.
Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of like Dead Space, where like that guy was screaming about like how there was a gender neutral bathroom in Dead Space.
I remember, and how like same kind of energy.
It is the same exact energy, and it's the same energy of like it really is sincerely, and I really want to say this with my whole fucking heart. It is the exact fucking same energy of like going into Grand Theft Auto and being like, it's really not okay that you can kill hookers in this game.
It's
really not okay. This is really not okay. We shouldn't be exposing our children to controversial themes like this. Okay? We can't have kids murdering hookers in Grand Theft Auto. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. What is this? What, boob armor? Why are these women so scantily clad in this RPG? What the fuck? Oh, it's like, it's a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Shut up. Is it good? Is the game good?
Right.
That's all I fucking give a shit about. It's like the only thing I've ever given a shit about. Why would I care about anything else? And I saw somebody, I was arguing. I was like, cause I really was trying to understand like where people were coming from. And it just doesn't, it literally just doesn't have a basis in anything. It's people being like, oh, well, you know, they just put that in there to appeal to like modern sensibilities. It's like, that's what business is. That's what a business is. That's what everybody has done forever. Do you think like the nuclear family, like Coca-Cola commercials were because they gave a shit? They were all cheating on their wives in the 1950s and fucking harassing all their fucking interns. You think they gave a shit? Of course not. They're putting like, oh, here's you and your nice happy family on the grill, like grilling a nice brisket with your fucking Coca-Cola in the 1950s. Don't you like that? Don't you want that? It's to appeal to everybody. That's the point.
Right.
And I'm sure like it was offensive to some fucking weirdos back then who for some reason were like, why are they shoving this down my face? They didn't have the voice to say that because they didn't have the fucking internet. But I guarantee you they were fucking out there. And you know what? It's the same fucking energy. It really is the same shit because
100%.
Companies have been pandering forever. Why is it only a problem now?
Yeah, and it's not even
weird.
Like, I hate the word because to me there's a difference, like pandering and then just inclusion. I think
right.
like pandering is when you see the Gillette commercials that they're I don't know, there's like some fucking beached whale or something.
For me, as the LGBT month, like the queer month shit, you know, like that's
look,
pandering.
It is pandering, but
it is 100%.
It is pandering,
especially when like companies like Target will be like,
exactly.
Hey, we're gonna have a sale we're gonna have like a special Pride Month fucking run of these things, and it's all like twice as expensive. Because it's like Pride Month.
Right, exactly. They personally don't give a shit at all. They're just turning a profit. Same, Bethesda obviously they want extra money, right? They want more gamers. They want a bigger demographic. That's obviously why they're doing it. Yeah, however, this is something so insignificant that I thought of it in the same way as adding another class in an RPG. Or it's literally that insignificant. Say you always play.
It's not even that. It's like adding more colors to a game. It's just like adding more color tones to a game.
And you use the same people. Like, say you create the same shit all the time. A lot of people that play RPGs create the same similar character if they can, because this is what they like to play. So other options wouldn't bother them. The only thing that would bother them if options were taken away. Options that would affect their way to play a game. So if you add anything, even if you don't even notice it, even if you don't use it, it is just a net good. It is a net positive. More options in a role-playing game can never be bad. And then, I did watch this fucking bald idiot's response to all the backlash. And he was trying to say, it's not about the pronouns. It is about them shoving everything down our throats. And then I'm like, bro, how could you think, like, you know, when you see the screen, how could you think, and he's talking about breaking immersion and all this shit, a blank gray screen that has no immersion. You are not immersed in the game when you are building your character. Because you are not yet in the universe building, you're not experiencing shit. You are starting it. It's like, look, maybe this guy would have a point if like a man with a pussy started squirting on the fucking startup screen or something. Like, just fucking started rubbing his pussy, and then pussy juice sprayed all over the Starfield fucking logo. Then I'd be like, okay, that's a little interesting.
With a big, with like a big sign that lowers down from the ceiling and says, "Make sure your kids are in the room to see this." You know what I mean? Like, then
that's what they act like. That's what they act like. That's the shit that we're showing people. Like, we're like, oh no, bring your kid in this room, sit your kid down, show your kid a male with a pussy. Show this kid a masculine figure with a pussy, because it's the forcing it down my throat thing has been it's so crazy, because if they just change certain words, they just sound like bigots from like the fucking 50s. If you just alter a few words in the way they sound. Once upon a time when they were trying to integrate schools, well, no, it's the same shit. It's the same idiotic bigotry.
Yeah,
it's just that they don't want to admit it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it. But it also it also is one of the things where it's like, well, if you change the words, then it means something else. Where it's like, yeah, of course, but like,
well, yes, but no.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But no, yeah, but like, it's just the fear of like different people, but it's this fear of like
it is here's the thing.
Bullshit is so.
Here's
crazy.
The reality. The reality of this, right, is that it's a fucking role playing game. If there was ever a type of game that would benefit from more options like this, it's this one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's literally this kind of game. Like, why would, it's like, I should just be able to pick a male or a female and that's it. And it's like, okay, you can. You still have that, that option isn't taken away from you. It's just, it is crazy. It's not even the first type of character creation tool like this. I think Saints Row had something similar like ages ago where you could be a man, you could pick male or female, but then you could like use the body modification
swap their voices
slider.
And stuff too.
Yeah, you could have like a female voice on a male body, and you could literally have boobs on your guy in Saints Row, literally by using the the character slider and stuff. So it's like, just it's literally not new. It's only a problem because the way that we talk about it is new.
Well, it's
and the way that you can make money from it is new. That's it.
It's the new culture
the only
war.
Reason it's a topic.
We think about the arc of the groomer, how they've been people like this, the guy, and people adjacent to him have been saying that trans people and drag performers are groomers. They're trying to groom our kids and whatnot. Blah blah blah.
No. Trans people aren't real, Derrick. They're not real. They don't exist.
Well,
they're not real. If they were real, then it would be okay.
No, see, when they do exist, because obviously these guys live in a cognitive dissonance world. When they do, the times they do exist and they acknowledge their existence, they're groomers and they're trying to change your kids into trans people too or whatever. I've seen and so it's like I made that joke when I was in the gym because my gym has a cinema room and they were playing Mrs. Doubtfire, and so I was just fucking around just making the joke because I'm like, yo, obviously if Mrs. Doubtfire came out today, there would be these yuppies saying fucking ignorant transphobic shit like, oh, they're trying to group, because it's crazy that when we talked about all of this stuff about people, because what you and I, Chris, and people who make content similar to us, a lot of our objective was to laugh at this dumb shit. There wasn't a huge fucking ideological point to this thing. That's why I remember how silly this was getting when I went to VidCon and we were all sitting at this long ass fucking table and one of the I think hotels right next to VidCon.
Yeah.
And this mom came up passionately thanking us for what we do, and I was like, what the fuck, lady? Like, I'm literally taking tweets and talking shit. I am not doing anything that is of substance and real value. And I hated when people were saying this, and these are the people that are still around. They're like, we gotta fight the good fight. And that hairy guy was saying, Anita Sarkeesian won. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck do you mean she won? Because they're saying you guys are letting her you're okay with her talking points. And I say to him, bro, Anita Sarkeesian, her main point was sexism in gaming. Let me tell you something, how I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, a game that just came out just a few weeks ago. I am a giant buff black dude, the male power fantasy, surrounded by naked women. They're completely naked rolling with me. No men on my fucking squad, to the point where I missed some key plot points because I wouldn't.
I hate you. You really did it, bro. It was a
mistake, brother. It was a mistake. Where I was like, miss? So I missed Haslin and getting rid of the dark fog. Yeah, bro.
I don't know what any of that
Derrick,
means.
They all died. All the tieflings died.
So not everybody died, but the thing is,
let's not spoil Baldur's Gate.
Okay. I just didn't. Spoiler, I didn't do an important thing because I refused to fucking travel with my nigga Haslin.
The males at all. You didn't even look at them, dude.
Can I tell you something? Listen. I gotta be real. Like for the brief moment that I was playing Baldur's Gate, I did the same. I killed that fucking British guy immediately. I didn't talk to Gale once. Like, I don't care about
crazy.
if you're a man on my squad, I don't fucking care about you. I don't fucking.
I
will fair you myself, in fact. But
to be fair,
I fucked my way through I fucked everybody.
Yeah, to be
everybody's
fair,
gotten a piece, bro.
I did dance with Will, but then I told him I ain't gay, and then he got all sad. It was the funniest fucking thing.
It's so sad. He sits next to you and everything, and it's like.
Okay, like he walks away so defeated that you wouldn't have sex with him. It's the funniest thing.
But the point.
You dance because he's black too. You only gave him half a chance. He was black.
The point being,
Yeah.
Oh God, I love video games, man.
Do you remember what we were talking about?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look. This rant that I just went into, and like this, like little tangent, this little thing, this digression, is showing you how like video games are still fucking great. They're still fantastic, and this dick mouth, heels and babyface or whatever, freaking out over that fucking pronoun option is such a fucking dumb thing to do when video games are still great.
Dude, it is literally, this is one of the best years, period, for like video game. Like I can't remember the last time we had a year this good. Like it might, like it was a while ago.
Maybe
that we
not
had a
ever.
year
Maybe
like this.
maybe not for real ever. Like for
honestly,
real,
probably. And
maybe
a lot of that,
not for real ever.
And a lot of that, to be fair, is because the pandemic pushed a lot of stuff, and so like there is a lot of stuff that probably would have released earlier or would have released later that is now.
It probably would have been spread out a lot more. Right.
However, that doesn't change the fact that like I kind of think like the more Starfield really was the hinging point for me, where I was like, if that game's fucked like beyond measure, then like that's gonna suck. But I'm so into it. I love it, dude. The fact that it's like it's good, and we still have Spider-Man, and we still have like all,
and I still have fucking Mortal Kombat 1, which I'm fucking
bro,
dude, fucking
I'm scared
Ace
about
Combat.
that. And Tekken,
or not Ace Combat,
Tekken
Armored
has been
Core.
having me scream.
Armored Core 6 just came out.
Armored Core is really good, man.
It is a stupid
Resident
good
Evil
year.
4
it is a stupid good year for video games. And
Dead Space.
And think about it. Let's to this
Dead
point
Space
of
and Resident Evil.
To the point, Dead Space. To this point, right? All these games that we're mentioning, out of all of these games, all of these badass AAA games, and even some like fucking The Forest, the sequel to The Forest came out. Even some of the indie shit that people are into is dropping. What's that fucking horror one that Outlast did its new thing. So like a bunch of shit has come out this year. And when you think about all of this plethora of shit that just came out, how many of them have some sort of what you can consider, like, let's just try to peek into the minds of these freaks, some LGBTQ pandering? Like, try to think of something that you can think of that happened. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head right now, like what, I can't think of anything. Technically, I wouldn't have, because I'm not in their mind, I wouldn't have thought of the he-him thing as it. And I did see some people talking about, like even that bald guy said, if it doesn't do anything, why is it even in here? Well, my interpretation, I haven't played the game yet, I'm assuming it does do something. I'm assuming when the dialogue is happening and people are talking to you, they will use the preferred pronouns, just like they do in an RPG, depending on if you're talking to if you're a guy or a girl in the RPG.
I would assume that's I don't pay attention.
Yeah,
but to how that kind of thing.
Since you chose he/him, you wouldn't even know, right?
Exactly.
You didn't chose he, her, she, her.
Well, it went to he/him by default,
right? But like, if you changed,
which by the way,
I'm assuming it would change to your choice.
Well, let me. You know, it's crazy. It's like it's so funny too because I could see an alternate reality where like, you know, when you select your character, it's set to male and he/him by default, and that would spark an outrage of like, why does it automatically default to men? Don't they know girls play? No, you know what I mean?
That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be.
You just blew my fucking mind.
That's how it used to be.
2016, there would have been an article on Jezebel about that.
Not only would there be an article on Jezebel, there would be an article on Jezebel that would be exactly that people would take seriously. Now, I'm sure, by the way, I'm sure that article exists somewhere. There's always some fucking stupid article that's like, this game's fucking sexist. And what happens now? Everybody fucking laughs at that shit. Nobody pays attention to it. They're starving for viewers to the point where they're like making these articles to like demand like some kind of attention. And it's not fucking working. Those websites are going under because games are just fucking good. Games are good.
The thing is this for me, right?
They're great.
It's a juxtaposition of like, if someone wants to refer to something, just refer. It won't hurt.
Well, that's not even the argument.
I understand it's not the argument, but like it's just these people with this weird inability to progress forward. It's just this weird, like, it's like, dude, I would have seen that and been like, oh, I'm a he, and that's it. That is it. It's like when they ask you, it's like in Pokemon Gold, Professor Oak is like, hey, are you a boy or a girl? I'm a boy.
Yeah, see, the thing is, they don't.
That's it.
They don't actually.
It. And I move.
It's literally just more granular customization, which is literally a good thing for role playing games specifically. Like, why wouldn't bad. Why shouldn't you, like, if you wanted to role play fucking for whatever reason, I don't know why you would want to do this, but like if you wanted to role play like oh my god, what is it? Tim Curry from Rocky Horror. You know, you can do it. By just being like by picking a guy and being like, oh, I want people to refer to me as like her and she, even though I'm clearly like a guy. You know what I mean? Like, why not? People will be like, that's fucking crazy. It's like, dude, why the fuck not?
It's fun.
I saw somebody
but that's
being.
That's more you can do.
Exactly.
Though.
It's more that you can do. It's more ridiculous situations that you can make up, which is like the whole point of role playing games. I saw some guy kind of making fun of my argument about it, and he was like, maybe they should start putting in fucking astrological signs too. And I'm like, okay,
why not?
Maybe, yeah.
In fact, that might be cool in some if in like Skyrim or something, if like Elder Scrolls had that for whatever reason, I don't know why they would have that specifically, but like some kind of system like it, why the fuck not?
That'd be cool because there's so many fucking weird stars in that universe, so you can be able to you can be some wild shit, and there's already so much hocus pocus bullshit.
Dude, more
too.
customization
Hey, dude, think
for
about
background and personality and playstyle in a role playing game is not a bad thing, and you can't gaslight people into thinking it is. It's fucking insane.
Dude, think about this, and I'm sure a lot of those guys have attempted to use something like OkCupid or Plenty of Fish or any of those sites that existed.
Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
Definitely those to sodomize themselves.
Those fucking websites have deep customization of your stats, including those stupid signs, fucking religion, height, a bunch of shit that it gives you a full package of who you are, more than a lot of RPGs even offer. And this is something that would actually translate pretty fucking well in an RPG if they gave you those options. They may not even do anything, but it's kind of cool that you can even go that deep. That is never a negative. I said more options is never a negative. If you think it's bad, because I hear people a lot of times they talk about open world games, and maybe they're getting kind of tired of them or whatever. And I say to those people, I understand, because it could be exhausting, but they always have a very streamlined main quest that doesn't take that long, usually like big sandboxes or whatever. It's all the side shit that takes fucking forever. You don't have to do it. And so in the same sense that if they added too many things, you don't have to do all that stuff either. Even when you're filling out your OkCupid or whatever, you didn't have to put your fucking sign in. I didn't have to say I was fucking Pisces or whatever. It's just an option. That's fucking fine, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. You fucking don't know what you're talking about, mate. You're letting the Anita Sarkeesian strap yet, and you don't know that the
How are
pronouns
people still talking about Anita Sarkeesian?
She's very important, mate.
They miss her, bro.
You're being obtuse, mate. She is still pulling all the strings of. She has Phil Spencer in her pocket. And I know this, Mike. Can you imagine the next fucking Phil Spencer press conference and Anita Sarkeesian shows back?
By the way,
she just fucking shows up.
I feel like and look, man, I feel like I can say this because I'm not under any fucking NDA or nothing, but I won't point to any specific people, but I know a lot of people in game development. Okay, I've been fortunate enough to kind of like been in the same room as like certain like executives from this place and like decision makers from this fucking company and that fucking company. And let me tell you something. There's no love for Anita Sarkeesian. There's no, it's just like, yeah, whatever. It's a complete afterthought. Yeah. Companies kind of did their thing where they were like, all right, come speak at our fucking thing, whatever. It's a PR thing. That's fine. But no one takes that shit seriously, because the main problem with Anita Sarkeesian was that her series was just incredibly fucking shallow, and that she misrepresented a lot of games. Like, I specifically remember one that sticks out like really, really deeply in my mind was when she tried to imply that Hitman Hitman, I think Absolution rewards you for killing hookers when the gameplay that she's showing literally shows you being penalized for it.
Yes.
As it's happening.
You get penalized for killing people in a stealth game.
You're literally making the game harder for yourself when you do this. So, like, no, it doesn't do that at all. And it was just really shallow feminist analysis. The problem wasn't that it was feminist analysis. There was literally... Do you remember... you might remember this, Derrick. Oh, my God. What's her fucking name? That old lady, the old blonde lady who was, like a conservative feminist or something.
Christina Hoff Sommers? Was it her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of came in and she was doing her own analysis, and guess who loved it? Everybody who hated Anita Sarkeesian. And so the problem wasn't that she was feminist, right? Exactly. The problem wasn't that she was a woman. The problem was that her analysis sucked. And it was shallow, and it was vapid, and she was a fucking con person. Everybody with a respectable understanding of like any situation regarding the games industry knows this. It's not even an arguable. It's not even an arguable thing. Like, there's video of her like lying directly about what she wanted to do and what she intended to do. There's no way to refute that. So to me,
unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't know that.
Yeah, I know, but like they also don't care. You know?
Yeah, true.
Anita Sarkeesian's not relevant anymore. Like, Feminist Frequency, I'm pretty sure is shutting down this year. Like, it's done. So, like, to me, I think, I don't know, my perspective is Anita Sarkeesian was a problem just because the way that she did shit, the way that she did her content was just really shallow and vapid and didn't really contribute anything. It wasn't that she was a feminist attempting to do media critique, because that's fine. Especially if it's educated. Like, why not? Why not have analysis from every single perspective you can imagine? I would love to see like a religious analysis of what BioShock is. You know what I mean? Just because I think that's interesting. Why the fuck not? If it's well done, and if it's not misrepresented, and if it's not like scammed into existence, I think that's totally fine. I think it's totally fine to have feminist articles and you know, whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, what's the real
issue? I just don't know what I don't know what the real issue is. The real issue is what we've always said it was from people from our perspective, that it was this, like, if you want to talk about actual culture, it was outrage culture. The thing that we were always actually railing against was just being outraged about fucking everything. It wasn't about that, oh, there's these women that are being uppity. How, you know how there's some idiots that's how they were trying to act like it was. Oh, these fucking...
They were like, women are being fucking stupid, and I hate women. Like, goddamn, I can't control them no damn more.
Those fucking minority of people, like, look at the reason why Gamergate, for example, right? Because Gamergate got brought up a few times because they were saying that guy, the wrestling, the heels and babyface guy, oh, like, typical Gamergater guy. And what upsets me about that is I had a very narrow view. I didn't notice that those people like that guy were talking about the same subjects we were, but they were the ones getting picked up by, say, the progressives that were shitting on like Gamergate. They were seeing people like this guy and Ethan Ralph. They were seeing people like them being absolute nuisances, being the biggest pieces of shit. So there was no nuance to them. There was no actual like validity to what we were saying. And like when we were talking about like the whole Zoe Quinn and all that shit and everything that happened, they didn't care about any of that because they just saw these fucking freaks freaking out and attacking them and harassing them and shit. And I was like, nigga, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm just trying to talk about y'all are fucking behaving wild, and we just want to
and it's
like,
not
go
your
back
fault,
to
but that's
the way
what
things
happens.
were.
But that's what happens, dude. You end up unfortunately, if you have an opinion that a fucking maniac has, unfortunately you get looped in with the fucking psychos, and you're like, no, I don't mean that.
You're always going to share opinions with a psychopath because there is no thought that you have ever had that is unique. And anyway, I remember somebody being like, did you get that opinion? Somebody was responding to me. I can't remember. I was talking about the pronoun stuff. It's like, oh, did you get that opinion yourself? It's like, that's literally a stock comeback. Like I have heard, oh, did you get that opinion yourself? Millions of times. That is not like a unique thing to say. And so it's ironic to be criticized for not having a unique thing to say with stock footage, basically, of like a comeback. So it's just, I don't know, man. There's a distinct difference between making jokes at the expense of people flipping out over shit and flipping out over shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember people were like, "Oh, well, this used to be you in 2016." I was like, "I assure you, it wasn't." Find me footage of me being like deranged and angry. And by the way, even if you did find that footage, I wasn't 45 years old and balding with like a child, probably like dying of neglect in the basement. Okay.
You know, the only time I remember being. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I don't know, man. I think maybe this is something that you just have to have a very limited amount of life experience to be angry at the things that these people are angry at. And I felt the same way about the people in 2016 who were flipping out over fucking manspreading and shit, right? Where it's like, you have to have had so few important interactions in your life to consider this enough.
You just have to not understand the vastness of the universe around you. You know, you gotta have a sort of finite view, because this is really
incredibly
stupid.
myopic. It's an incredibly myopic and just self-flagellating kind of way to, or not self-flagellating. It's the opposite. Self-inflating way to kind of view the world, because like you said, Derrick, like that woman who came up to us, like kind of praising us for doing what we were doing, even though we were just like cracking jokes about it took no fucking intellect what we were doing. It took timing and some level of like skill in some way to make fun of things in a way that was entertaining to people, but like that's where the skill was. It was in entertainment. It wasn't anything else. Like there was no way that I was trying to be a fucking teacher or like a right. warrior for some weird fucking cause.
Right, like we've been offered like some real gigs, like of real shit, and like neither of us
I got invited to talk at a school, and I remember being
exactly
like, I don't want to talk at a school.
No, I was like, no.
I'm not trying to teach anything.
That's crazy.
You're
that
taking
is
this
crazy.
Far,
that
you're
is
taking this far. I could teach editing. I could teach you how to edit. I'd probably be good at that. But like, I'm not giving a fucking speech about this shit. It's insane. And I think the difference between me and you, Derrick, and people like, I guess, you know, the Sargon guys, is that we understood that was an insane. That we understood that was an insane thing to put onto us.
Yeah.
But they kind of want that.
They loved it.
Like, it's like, I need this validation. I need this self-importance. Oh, you think I'm like an epic warrior for this. You think I can save the world with what I'm doing? Like, you think I'm like making a genuine difference in the universe? That's crazy. I love that feeling. Let me keep that up. And then you keep that up for so long that you start to fucking believe it, and then you're just deluded into your own bullshit. It's fucking crazy. Like,
there was no. Someone was like, Chris, we want you to come speak at a school is wild. That is proof that this world is
Dude, there were people messaging me. There were people messaging me that I saved their lives. And like, look, man, maybe I don't know. I don't purport to know like what people are going through. I'm sure like maybe like I've helped entertain people out of like rough patches or whatever. But like the idea that like, I don't know, it's too much of a pedestal to be put on. It's insane. And anybody who thinks that they're responsible enough to wield that kind of pedestal is inherently unworthy of it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about presidents.
They're a fucking psychopath. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fucking lunacy. And you see it. You see it literally like one of those podcast guys, one of those podcast guys was like, these people, one of the podcast guys, I think it was Harry, literally was like, these people think of themselves as champions, but they let these people win, and it's like, I'm not, there's no like, champion.
Dude, you're the only one who thinks that. This is not a war, bitch. Here. This is not a war.
I'm not fighting. We're not in the trench. Somebody used the phrase, and I'm not even joking. They said, yeah, Chris used to be in the trenches.
See,
people think, it's wild.
It's a gay culture war. They think it's real.
They think they're in danger. They think they're like dodging grenades. It's why they're having fucking, it's why they have fucking PTSD flashbacks at character customization screens, because they have no idea what it's like to be fucking, I don't know, attacked in the street, or like actually in a fight.
Right. Or like actually being put in a situation where like dire situations. But I deserve that power though. Give me that power. I'll lead the culture war. I'll lead you guys to tranquility, bro.
So okay. So if some fucking maniac messaged you, they emailed you, and they wanted you to speak at a university, you would take it?
I would do it now. I would do it now. I would do it now.
Hold on. Let me stipulation.
Yeah.
Would you? Goddamn fucking camera! I hate this fucking. You're
like, fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's gonna. Okay, we're good. Anyway,
this keeps peering down to your cock. It keeps peering down.
Okay, you're gonna have an I show speed situation going on.
I
show meat.
I have pants. That's the only reason I have pants on. Trust me, I'm not gonna.
Literally,
it's
I
not
was
gonna
late
happen
because I had to put pants on. I was like, I gotta because I know my dick will show up somehow.
It took you 20 minutes to put pants on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a big ass dick, dude. That's pretty. Congratulations.
I gotta fucking roll over my back, put it over my
leg. Stipulation.
What was that character?
So wait, what?
No, sorry, I was about to derail the episode. Go ahead.
Okay, so the stipulation, you speak, but you can only speak about this culture war shit. They want to the ideological power struggle of the right versus left. And that's the only thing you can speak of.
I can talk about it. I can talk about it, and I would say shit that I truly believe in, and that would not be ignorant, and I could still talk about it at that place.
Yeah.
Okay, another stipulation.
I can definitely do it.
You also would have to debate that bald dude. You have to debate him, but
that'd be very easy.
He's on 10 the entire time.
Dude,
he's on 10? Oh god, I don't know.
No, that's great. That's great because all you have to do is not care and then you win. I saw an argument of I saw him like
Chris.
That response video that he did was so weird too because like
I couldn't do it.
And maybe this is just maybe this is just me being hypercritical because there's no way in hell that I would that I would flesh out an argument in such a profoundly incompetent way. But he was like oh man, people he was trying to equate Actman making fun of his outburst to Quantum TV trying to take his account down. Did you see that?
He said that?
He said that specifically.
I didn't finish his response video.
He acted like it was hypocritical of the Actman to make fun of another content creator expressing his opinion.
That's because he said that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, well, he said it was like it's hypocritical of the Actman to make fun of me for sharing my opinion because Quantum TV tried to get his account taken down, and it's like
look at those mental gymnastics.
That's not even like a coherent. I'm starting to wonder if English is even a language that they know how to speak, or if they've just been around enough English words that they've just kind of barely managed to string together a personality. You know, like because that does not connect at all. That is not a connecting argument even slightly. And there's no way in hell if I was being clowned on by the internet to the degree that this guy's clowning on, there's no way I would have formulated an argument that fucking profoundly inept.
They're making fun of me for voicing my opinion.
I bet he's outside with his fucking.
What up with the free speech, mate?
He's
what up with the free speech?
Free speech is fine. Free speech is fine. People have the right. You have the right to
say whatever you want.
To say whatever you want, and people have the right to make fun of you for it. That's what it's always been.
This is a fucking culture war, mate. You fucking tosser. You have no idea. This is a preview of how the debate would go when you're at the university. So it's like, all right. So heels versus babyface. You have 1 minute. Okay. This fucking nuts piece of shit tosser, this little mushki right here, will not give me the time of day, and he will not acknowledge that the fucking culture war is everywhere. The fucking pronouns should not be in my Starfield. And this fucking jackanini little monster, little rot, little baby face will not acknowledge me. Hey, shut up, moderator. I'm gonna fucking gut you if you don't shut up. Mate, shut up!
He does seem very violent.
Hey, wife! You shut the fuck up right now and make me dinner! No.
Does he have a wife?
I assume, look at, this guy looks like the type of person that just abuses... Yeah.
He would have threatened somebody.
He just abuses the shit out of his fucking wife.
We're talking completely out of school. It's a very unfair thing to say.
Is it though?
Yes, Derrick. Yes,
look. I don't know the guy. Okay, I don't know the guy. I'm not gonna make like a personality judgment on him necessarily.
You're so nice. You're such a good person.
He had because like I don't know, man. Look, I don't know everything about a person.
Chris, look at. Pause. Okay. I would be totally on your side if he made a follow-up video and been like, look, guys, I lost my shit. That was stupid. You had every right to fucking...
I would be on his team, in fact. I'd be like, you'd be like that, bro. Don't worry.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, dude, everybody has their moments. You slipped up. Look, man, it's not a big deal. If he just admitted it's not a big deal, he just had a moment.
You know what would make it perfect? If he did that and he did a react video to his own video and laughed at it, I would be like, yo, I'm on your team now. I'm on your side now.
And I imagine
he can't do that.
Yeah, he can't. Not with the people that he's wielding, that fucking army that he has of like these, you know, it's these, like, I saw enough people that were following me. There were some people following me. That Harry guy's following me. I don't know if he started following me recently, if he's always been following me. I don't know. But I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
But, I saw some of the comments, some of the replies. They're like, well, yeah, it was an overreaction, but he's right, though. You don't know. He's right. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean he's right? Like, if he, like, are you guys also, are your brains melting when you saw that shit? I think
people don't. I really do think there is a correlation with people who go outside, or like not a correlation, but like I think people who get angry about this stuff don't go outside.
Yeah,
I don't think it's not going outside. I think it's people not being able to departmentalize the fact that the world is changing. And you have to just deal with the fact that
it's not even that, bro.
Well, it is. Look, dude. Once upon a time, right? Let's be real. Once upon a time, pronouns weren't a big problem, right? But then people that felt as if they were became a group that became front and center in the world. And now the things they ask for, which is more the ability to identify themselves the way they want, has become a thing. You know,
it's everything that this pronoun thing, for example. These are the same people that were mad when they started seeing nombre/name on an application.
Oh yeah.
These are the same fucking people. They're mad at these extra options that accommodate other fucking people. This shit has been happening before we were born. That things were being more accommodating with the culture that is around. Oh, we have more of this people. We're going to accommodate them. Oh, we acknowledge that these people exist. We never thought about it before because really trans people is such a small part of the population. And then they thought about, well, it doesn't hurt to add this at all. It does nothing. All it does is just help. It just helps some people.
It literally just includes a slightly bigger audience, which is when you're making when you're making a role playing game, it's just like, that's the whole fucking point. And
not even a role-playing game. It should include these people. Should be included comfortably.
But I'm saying especially. You know what I mean? Like if there was ever of all the games to complain about, dude, you know what's fucking crazy about this? I'm fairly fucking certain Hogwarts Legacy has a fucking character customization thing with pronouns and like a full-on like trans character and all this diversity.
I know there's a trans character.
By the way.
Sure.
In Hogwarts, in the context of Harry Potter, makes no fucking sense. Why is 1990s Hogwarts so white and then 1600s Hogwarts is
love that.
It is the funniest shit ever. But
the implication is great.
The implication that is hilarious, but also these are the kinds of people who were simping for that game. Because people are like, people have a problem with J.K. Rowling because she's transphobic. Oh, I'm gonna buy fucking Hogwarts Legacy with its pronouns and trans people and fucking forced diversity. Like, what? It's you don't have a coherent worldview. It is complete horseshit. It's asinine. You believe everything that YouTube thumbnails tell you, not even the videos. So you're way off. So like, I don't know. I just don't know how to help you. Like, if honestly, like from my perspective, my honest perspective, right? I don't understand the gender stuff at all. Like to me, like it is a little bit silly to me. I don't fully understand it. I don't understand how it's possible to not. I can't fathom it, to not understand like what you are. But there's so many things in this world that I think are silly that are fine. It's fine. This is like it hurts no one to have this here.
Right.
Who cares?
So
there are entire careers that I think are fucking silly. Entire cultures that I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I can meet you with the same argument. Like, I don't understand anxiety, right? I've never understood that shit, right? I understand getting nervous like a regular person, right? I understand being frightened, but I don't understand being like having genuinely nothing that bothers you. Because for me, when I feel nervous when there's something that I should be doing that I haven't done. My brain gives me that idea of, like,
is anxiety.
nerves.
Do you mean severe anxiety?
No.
You mean, like,
the
severe
idea
you're talking about anxiety disorder. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't understand anxiety disorders, right? I don't understand that people that really have that, Like, I'm very good at departmentalizing my stressors and being able to move from one step to another. But some people are not. They're just not. And I understand it exists, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, let it be. That's it. There's having a way to understand.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, because there's a way that you can find things kind of silly or like confusing or weird, or like, I feel that way about most religions. I feel that way about a lot of career paths.
For me, it's women too. Like, I don't understand women. I don't respect them.
I feel that way about
facts.
I feel like, to me, it's like, like cities that aren't New York make no fucking sense to me. Why are bodegas not open till 3 a.m. everywhere? It makes no fucking sense. It's a perfect way to do everything, but whatever, I'm not gonna fucking constantly attack. But can you imagine if I stood outside of a bodega as they closed at 8 p.m. and like threatened at them? Like, we're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you staying open to accommodate me?
Yeah,
it's like, I don't. There's so much in this world that's ridiculous, but so much of it is also wickedly harmless. And so when you get old enough to really understand the distinction between what is harmful and what is just kind of different than what you expect to understand, or different from your own like worldview, or different from your experience, then you grow up. And I think the only way to do that is to actually go outside. And I don't think these people do that. I really don't. I don't believe Tim Pool leaves his compound. I don't believe this thumb looking motherfucker.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him, man.
I
don't feel bad for him. He's rich. He's fine. But like,
no, I can feel. You can feel bad.
Oh,
for
let
rich
him cook.
people.
Let him cook.
That's another thing. I don't feel bad for rich people. And
that
I'm
is
sure
madness.
That very much might be madness, and that's fine. And you can think that's ridiculous. You can think that's absolutely ridiculous. But if there was an option in like a role playing game that you are remarkably unsympathetic to rich people, which opens up an extra dialogue tree in every conversation you have with like a mogul or a tech guy in this game.
Oh, that's gonna be
fun. You can berate them. Exactly.
That's fun.
It's more accommodating. So to me, it's just like, I don't know. I just, to me, one of the biggest, or one of the best arguments I ever saw on this was like it was like a conversation between this religious guy who like really had a problem with kind of gender identity stuff, and some other guy, and the conversation was like, science, this is like, this new gender stuff is like, that's not even science, it's like a new religion. And it's like, okay, so it's not science, but it clearly makes certain people feel better, right? Like, it's at the very least, it's like a self-affirming thing for people to kind of live their life by, like your religion, right? If like, you can't prove that anything about your religion is accurate, you just kind of believe in it because it makes you feel better.
I would start making fun of the fact that he worships
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is like, even if but let's say it's not science, like for the sake of it, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be just religion.
Yes.
And that's fine, is it not?
I mean, it should.
Right?
What's fucked up about that?
If it's not science, then it's religion, and if it's religion, it's fine.
Right. What's fucked up about that is the whole gender spectrum. It is infinitely less harmless. It's harmless. And then religion, something that is respected, is extremely harmful objectively.
That is the
We've
funny
seen this.
thing, yeah.
That's what is funny about it. And I've said this, I think, on the first episode I ever did as a guest. I think I even compared gender spectrum to religion, where it's like a lot of it I think is silly. But, people are allowed to do whatever they want, and you're not supposed to fucking chastise them and demonize them and try to ostracize them and make them pariahs and shit for having a different thing that they practice culturally or whatever the fuck.
Nah, you got
And the thing is, and what pisses me off, because, like, it's social science, like gender stuff is a social science. And when you talk about it being a social construct, these people get so upset. But I use an example. And the best example I've ever seen was, because, you don't change sex. It's biological, but gender is the social construct. And why that's true is because I showed her a picture of, there was a trans woman and a trans man. They were standing outside the White House for whatever. I don't remember what was going on, but they did not censor the trans man in the news and the media, but they censored the trans woman because she was topless, but she was covering her nipples. but they were still censoring her tits. But they didn't censor the trans man's fucking topless chest. Meaning that if we saw them as the way that they wanted, like, oh, no, that's still a woman, that's still a man, then it would have been the opposite way.
Oh, yeah, no,
exactly. Societally, we treat the trans woman as a woman. Right. And so, like, they have to, when you bring that up to them, like, you have to concede that point that societally, we have accepted this, and you're just being incredibly obtuse. Like, you need to catch up, or like you say, Chris, go the fuck outside. Because there's 8 billion people on this planet, and most of them don't give a flying fuck about any of this.
Yeah, I just wish people got as angry at the things that they should be getting angry at.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it just...
just fucking women.
Dude, Mitch McConnell glitched out again. Joe Biden wandered out of some fucking... some Medal of Honor ceremony today, I think.
He wandered out?
Yeah, he just wandered out in the middle of like this guy getting like a medal for like saving
this.
This is why I was talking about like what should we talk about today, because there's a lot. There was like Joe Biden wandered out of some like Medal of Honor ceremony that was like honoring some guy for like saving like a bus full of children. Can we save it for the next episode? We could save it, but like it's just an example of just like, dude,
I want to explore.
You should be so furious that your leadership is this decrepit and this old, and that they're voting on your future, despite the fact that they're fucking on a one-way ticket out of here, man. As we speak, that should piss you off so immensely, and it pisses me off so much every time I see that shit. Like everything political that I see, it's like it just Dianne Feinstein, like, Dianne Feinstein's daughter is now taking over her fucking role. It's like,
what?
That's allowed?
Wait,
what the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, Dianne Feinstein is so old that I think her daughter is basically acting as her, basically. So she's basically...
That is great.
Yeah, it's fucking or something to that effect, right? Where it's like,
I hate that politicians are the only people on this planet that don't have to do their jobs well.
Bro, it's dynastic. Also, it's also just not fucking electoral at all. They didn't elect your fucking daughter. Are you crazy?
Exactly that.
Like these are the things that should be bothering people to this
degree.
But instead,
let me say something real. This is gonna happen, right? This is a warning. It's a very simple warning. I'm not threatening, but it's a warning for the future that will happen, right?
Okay.
But it's a warning.
This is a warning. That's not a threat, but it is a warning. It is a precautionary tale. What happens is this, right? The powers that be are going to keep ignoring to please the people. And what happened is that bottle is going to be opened, right? Where people are going to start acting violently.
I don't think so, man.
And no, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to open. So. I think we are such a pacified public, and we are so used to getting angry or wasting our passion on shit like this. Yeah. I think we are a pacified public, but I think the degree of struggle hasn't gotten bad enough for us to finally act.
No, that's true, but also
all we can count on is good old boys. We got to get Mitch McConnell to get a name tag that has he/him on it, and then they'll take care of him.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's it. I've had enough of him, and then they'll get him.
No, they're gonna. What happens is that it's gonna be a period of time.
I don't mind.
When the middle class disappears,
stole all my money
for real. When it's fully gone, when people are struggling to eat, when it gets really bad, like when there's no hope
for
left,
who though? It's already really bad for a lot of people.
The entirety of the masses,
like 40% unemployment,
like 40%.
When that cork.
Which, by the way, will absolutely happen.
It will happen.
Like that is unfathomable to even think about.
It is crazy. It is crazy, but I think it's like very like, especially with like AI advancing in the way that it is, like accounting jobs. A lot of those jobs that a lot of people do are probably going to go way away the second this stuff starts getting even slightly more.
Like what happened is that shit's gonna get sadder. Things gonna get worse.
Gotta get UBI, man. UBI, $2,000 a month. UBI.
People are gonna start getting mad, and they're gonna start getting active. And then what happened is that the politicians are not gonna act fast enough to please the people. And
they'll act fast if they're threatened.
No, they're not. Because they're not gonna believe. They're not gonna believe it.
No.
They're gonna be like, they're not gonna do anything.
No, it's so funny whenever we talk about, like, and this isn't necessarily true of just like liberals or anything. I think it's everybody. But like when everybody talks about the government, they talk about how like ineffective they are, right? And like how slow and how like cumbersome and how like there's so much bureaucracy and how it's like really ineffective. And I agree with it largely. But then like, do you remember when, I can't remember if it was about the voting ballots or Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, when there was like a Supreme Court justice that got sworn in or something, and then their addresses got leaked online or something, and they were like people outside of their houses, kind of like protesting at their fucking houses, and then a few hours later, they passed legislation to make that illegal. To make that illegal,
yeah.
Like in hours, bro. Faster than fucking Spectrum responds to my service calls. That's so like they can do it. They just have to be afraid to do it, which sucks. It sucks that fear has to be your only motivation to do the right fucking thing.
There's going to be one group of people that are going to be like, I've had enough, and they're going to get active. And then innocent people are going to get hurt. Yeah, but see, here's the
problem. You know who's going to be the first people to do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they're probably going to do it again for the wrong fucking reasons. Like, that's the problem that I have, because that's the one thing, because I'm like, a lot of the country's fired up enough already, but for the dumbest fucking shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, and even as things continue to get worse, they're going to be more fired up by the dumbest shit, too. That's why I said, like, I genuinely believe if fucking Mitch McConnell wore a pronoun tag, somebody would be outside of his house firebombing it. Because that's how crazy these people have gotten. But even though he has ruined fucking he is largely responsible for ruining American politics over the past few decades. And they don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
And so now if you have him,
crazy.
We're going to deck him in because he can't respond. He's unresponsive already. So we deck him in a rainbow fucking business suit. You know, we just put a rainbow flag all over. We put his pronouns on it. We give him tits. We put a bra on him too. Then we just wheel him out. We wheel him out to
them slaughter him, bro. Like piranhas. They just jump on him.
It's wild. And I don't know, man. The main takeaway I would say is just like I remember being a kid with no experience, living in my parents' house, not really having any life experience. And I remember like 2014 maybe was like the last time that I can remember making a video where I got like genuinely angry about something really stupid. Which was like video game stuff. It was all video games. Like it inspired so much passion in me, right? Because I didn't fucking go outside. I had friends and I did things, but like I didn't really live like an actual, like I wasn't like out seeing crazy shit. You know what I mean? On a daily basis. I didn't have to like pay for my own, like I didn't have to exist in like the tax system. I didn't have to, you know what I mean? It was a completely fucking different time. And after about, 9 years of context and existing in the system and kind of seeing the ins and outs of it and interacting with plenty of people from, like, all over the political spectrum, it just, like, it provides you with a lot of perspective that I think a lot of people don't have, whether that be by choice or circumstance or, you know, what have you.
Yeah.
But the reason why that video of this guy is so jarring to me is because he's acting the way I acted at like 19 as like a fucking 40-year-old. And that's crazy because I can't imagine a 40-year-old living a fraction of the life I've lived. Like it's difficult to conceptualize that. I don't know if he is 40. I don't know. Like
he looks. I think he's in his 40s. He looks like he's in his 40s.
What if he was 26?
Oh no!
What if he was 18?
No, I feel
what if
so
he was
bad
an
for him.
18-year-old?
That was an 18-year-old man,
bro.
He just turned. He's like, I just got Starfield for my 18th birthday, and I have to put up with these fucking pronouns. And I'd be like, yo,
he's 18 with a fucking stint in his heart. I don't know, man. I want people to. Look. There's a place for passion. There's a place for anger. I just wish it was delegated a little bit more effectively and more towards the things that actually have a material impact on every other person, as opposed to this like shit that.
Imagine if there was a game-breaking bug or something.
No one's gonna give a shit about this by the time this episode goes live, probably. You know, it'll probably be like well over. But, you know, with what will still be true by the time this episode goes live is the housing market is still fucked. The economy is still fucked. Your money is being stolen from you, fucking nickel and dime, out of your fucking pocket all the time. You are being kept in a consistently recycled state of debt on purpose.
Woo.
All the shit, you know? And I get it. Like, it's not fun to talk about that shit, and it's more fun to talk about video games. And I agree, too. I don't know. Maybe I've just done enough of that, and I just like talking about the cool shit. Like, I like talking about video games when I'm, like, excited about them, or, like, when they're doing something cool, or when I like them, as opposed to just fucking flipping out about dumb shit.